learning Spanish takes exactly 2 steps. First is understanding what you're optimizing for, and the second one is going for it. So, of course, your goal is the most important thing. What do you want to do with Spanish? Do you want to talk Spanish? Do you want to just understand Spanish, write Spanish? And each of those things, you got to understand it's its own ability. Maybe I cheat a little bit because, I was born in Colombia. So I just came into this world and people just start speaking Spanish to me. But I've effectively, by making this association in my brain, by having this framework, I've been able to learn English, as you can see, some French, some German, pretty successfully. So I'm trying to really tell you what I've been learning throughout these years, and is that if you want to know how to speak Spanish, you need to speak Spanish, right? It sounds obvious, but really think about it. How much of your time do you spend speaking Spanish? You say, okay, I wanna say this word, I wanna know this thing, but if you watch YouTube videos, a lot of them are like, okay, I'm gonna talk to you 20 minutes in English, and then I'm gonna tell you this one sentence in Spanish, and you're like, okay, now I know the sentence, that's great. But when the situation comes, you're like, okay, oh shit, what was it again? So it gives a bit of the illusion that you're understanding the language. Maybe you understand a bit better than before. This is so true, and this is so valuable, but it's not optimizing for what you want. So if you want to speak Spanish, start by speaking Spanish. There's a lot of ways to do this online. Most commonly, you could check out free communities. For example, the one we have here. That's what we optimize for, right? And just a little tip. We have a community here. You can join us if you want to. But also, of course, you can go online, try to look for a conversation exchange partner. Super helpful, super great. That's how I learned most of my German, which was fantastic. I got really lucky because it's hard to find someone you vibe with in these random platforms, but it's pretty cool when you do. And you can check Tandem or conversational exchange online, and that's fantastic. So this is what you have to do in order to speak Spanish. Start speaking it. Then, if you want to listen to Spanish, you gotta listen to Spanish. And I mean this in the most sincere way possible. And the thing is that your brain is such an insane, pattern recognition machine. He will know exactly. If you put this information 20 times in your brain, he at some point will be like, okay, I think I got it at this point. It will just bring the image forward. So if I put, for example, here, if I tell you, esto es un pájaro, a bird. Esto es un pájaro. And then I go in another sentence like, el pájaro es azul, el pájaro es verde, el pájaro come. And I keep showing you images of the bird, and I keep repeating to you, pájaro, pájaro, pájaro. You keep seeing a bird. Your brain will eventually grab onto it. And this is what's so important. Normally, what you want is repetition, slow repetition. If it's a little bit hard to grasp, especially if you're a beginner, slow repetition helps a lot. But also a lot of the same word in different contexts. That's fantastic for understanding what a word is. And what's important also is if you are a native Spanish English speaker, you will notice that you're just babbling. You're not really going word by word. It's the exact same case for any other language. You're not supposed to go word by word. You can, if someone asks you, hey, what does that word mean? You could probably answer, but you're not optimizing for knowing what pájaro means. You're just optimizing for trying to understand sentences in context. So this is a big part of it. Try to understand that each sentence has its own structure, and if they drill it into your head 20 times, your brain will just come forward with it and know what feels right. So listen to sources that either have, if you're really a beginner, again, repetition and slowness works great. Try to find some aid that's visual, something that shows you the image of the bird, something that puts in the text, this is a bird, pájaro, preferably just in Spanish, of course. And if you just keep drilling this into your head, this is the only advice I can give you. You need to listen to good sources of Spanish. So if you really want to optimize for speaking, speak. If you want to optimize for listen to the good sources. And that's it. Spanish, 5 minutes. That's all it takes. I swear to God.